Hello and welcome to the channel. The President, Bola Ahmed TINUBU, yesterday sent his ministerial list to the Senate. While some notable names were conspicuously missing, other expected names like former governors of Rivers and Kaduna states, WIKE and Nasir RUFAI respectively, were on it. It has now been revealed why the President went with the PDP stalwart WIKE and the controversial RUFAI. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Presidency. Why TINUBU picked WIKE, RUFAI, others. The president was painstaking in his choice of ministerial nominees, the presidency said yesterday. President Bola Ahmed TINUBU's list of 28 would-be ministers was made available by Senate President Godswill Akpabio during plenary yesterday. Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, who delivered the correspondence, which contained a list and a request for confirmation, said additional nominees list will be sent in the coming days. Speaking to reporters in Hasso Villa, he said, "I'm sure you all know that the government is not fully formed until the cabinet is in place. That process started a while ago, culminating in the delivery of ministerial nominees yesterday. The president took his time, did a lot of due diligence going through the nominees one by one. He had 60 days from the time of inauguration, as stipulated in the Constitution. He has fulfilled that requirement by submitting 28 names. The remaining 12 will be forwarded to the Senate in the coming days. Mr. President dissected those names with a fine-tooth comb, and that's what you've seen. Each of the persons on that list, I believe, is worth being there. It is a good mix of people with political acumen and technocrats. So, this is a good balance and it is needed. These are people who have keyed into the vision and mission of Mr. President. It is a good balance needed to move the country forward, as Mr. President is eager to do and has already started doing." Explaining why the President did not attach portfolios to the names of his nominees, Gbajabiamila said it would afford him, TINUBU, the opportunity to look at the characters of the nominees and see which ministry fits most for each of them. He explained that while it would have been the best idea to attach portfolios to the names, it may cause problems if the president changes his mind after they have been screened. He further hinted that the president may separate portfolios or restructure the ministries in such a way that new ministries that were not in existence before may emerge. For me, attaching portfolios would have been one way to go about it. It would have been a welcome development. As good as that sounds, it straitjackets the president to pigeonhole one person in an office or the other. What happens then if you change your mind? Do you then bring the person back for screening again? Because the president is at liberty to change his mind. And meanwhile, the Senate has screened that person for that particular initial portfolio. What happens then? Do you rescreen the person? So, a lot of these things have their merits and demerits. I like the idea of attaching portfolios because it makes it necessary for the Senate to know exactly what you are asking and what you are looking for. But for now, it's been thought wise that we stick to the tradition of sending the names and then, whilst the screening processes are going on, allow the president and his team to look at the portfolios and the characters and see how they fit. The first step that he has done is that these are people that can work wherever you put them, except these specialized fields like Attorney General and what have you. For most of the portfolios, he believes most of them can fit in anywhere. And what's important is also that Mr. President intends to separate portfolios or restructure the ministries in such a way you might be hearing of new ministries that were not standalone ministries before. So the process continues, he said. Gbajabiamila believes that in the next few weeks, the new ministers will hit the ground running, hinting that they will even begin work in some ways before their clearance and inauguration. Well, like I said, it is a process, and we are in the middle of the process now. As far as Mr. President is concerned, he has his cabinet. I'm sure there will be those who will be working behind the scenes, giving him advice. Every day is important to this government. He hopes the Senate will start work on the list soon. For all intents and purposes, Work should start in earnest for them in the next week or two because I don't see the Senate wasting too much time in the confirmation. They will do a thorough job, but they will balance it with the knowledge that in this time that we are in, time is of the essence. The Senate will begin the screening of 28 ministerial nominees on Monday. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Yemi Adara Modu, said the Senate had suspended its relevant rules to attend to the very important national assignment of ministerial screening. He said the screening would be very thorough while pledging that the Senate would not disappoint Nigerians. It is not going to be wishy-washy, he said. He added that even though there is a tradition where former members of the National Assembly nominated for ministerial positions are told to take a bow and go, the 10th Senate will ensure that such tradition is not abused where there are relevant questions to be asked. We will not manufacture allegations where there is none. The issue of a take a bow and go is not an anathema. It is a tradition, he said. He said a specific time will not be allocated to screen individual nominees because time will be given to allow them to answer all relevant questions from lawmakers. The list, as announced by Akpabio, includes Abubakar Momo, Edo, Yusuf Maitama, Tuga, Bauchi, Ahmad Dangiwa, Katsina, Hanatu Musawa, Katsina, Uche Nanji, Enugu, Beta Edu, Cross River, Doris Aniche Uzoka, Imo, and David Umahi, Ebonyi. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Others are Yensam WIKE, Rivers, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, Jigawa, Nasir Ahmed El Rufai, Kaduna, Ekberikbe, Ekbo, Akwa Ibom, and Inkiru Onyenjiocha, Abia. Also on the list are Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, Ondo, Stella Okotete, Delta, Bello Mohammed Goronyo, Sokoto, Uju Kennedy Ohanenye, Anambra, Dele Halake, Ekiti, Latif Fagbemi, San, Kwara, Muhammad Idris, Niger, Olawale Edun, Ogun, and Adebayo Adelabu, Oyo, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim Nasarawa, Ali Pates, Bauchi, Joseph Utsev, Benue, Abubakar Kiari, Bono, John Eno, Cross River, and Sani Abubakar Danladi, Taraba also made the list. Contrary to the tradition of the presidential liaison officer delivering the list to the Senate, Gbajabiamila chose to bring the list during plenary and handed it over to Senator Akpabio. The Senate resolved into an executive session after prayer was said, and votes and proceedings for Wednesday were adopted and approved. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye.